Happy Monday!
Happy Monday! I have a special treat for you today because I convinced Kim to be on camera. So we get to hear wise words from Kim Trezona today. Take it away, Kim.
Hi, everybody. It's Kim in our office on Wednesday afternoon, and I want to go over a few things for our tip this week. So here we go. Signatures. I'm going to show you again where to find in Yearbook Avenue what pages you've submitted and which ones you're missing to make up a printed signature. And basically, I want you all to go to Status, Page Submissions. And there, I want us to make sure that we understand that there's two ways to view your pages. One is by groups and one is by printing groups. So I want to look at this school in particular, and I want to think about what could help them in the plan. These first three are totally submitted, but now let's come down here, and we've got some issues. We've got these two, and these two pages. That's 6 pages. That could be 3 completed signatures. By that, let me just kind of like show you why this is important. Because we print in those sets of 16 pages. Now, you don't always have to submit in those to get credit for meeting deadline. But let's say you didn't meet deadline and you're a little behind. What could you do to catch up? Here's another school. So this is the printing signature. They could submit these 2 spreads and first 6 could be printed. Like it's just 1 spread and that could be printed. This one and these 2, that one could be printed. Those 3, that could be printed. This goes a long way in helping the plant get your pages ready. And so if you're behind, or even if you're not behind, everybody today, just take 2 minutes and go look at your status, page submissions, and then make sure you're looking at the so-called printing groups and see if you're missing a single page or 2 pages that you could go ahead and turn in early. It's going to make a big difference. Hey everybody, I want to talk about one of my favorite things that I got to do as an advisor, and that was recruit for my yearbook staff for the next year. And I'll never forget the first year I was an advisor, and my staff, maybe I inherited them and they weren't exactly where I wanted them to be. So I started thinking about how's the best way to make sure I've got the kids that really would excel at yearbook. And so one of the things that I think is very important is that we truly advertise. And we need to go down to that guidance department and have a really strong conversation about this is not where you just put somebody when you can't find another place for them in the school. That this is the #1 piece of PR that goes out to the community. And we need to have kids that are interested, that are capable, and can be trusted. Now, there's some really cool posters this year. They're called Build Your Resume. They're for all different kind of things you can hang up around the school or put them outside your room, because it's really time to start advertising, because we're going to be making spring schedules here pretty soon for next year. There's one for about every position, like, ooh, I'd like to be a photographer. Or, hey, I'm a great writer. I want to be a copywriter. Or, hey, I'm just interested in being part of a team. I want to be on yearbook staff. I love how it tells you like what they are going to need. Like they're creative, they're versatile, they love the community, they know how to meet deadlines, they're organized. Then there's also one that I think we have not done well on, and that is everybody needs their social media manager. Shout out to Green Level High School, man. I follow you guys on Instagram and everything, and you're amazing. And we need a business manager, okay? Now, one of the things also that I like to do is invite students, because kids are afraid. They sometimes just won't apply to yearbook because they're like, they won't accept me, or I'm not the person wanted. I'll never forget, I had this boy, Jeremy Plasterer, and I think that probably if it had been anybody else, they wouldn't have accepted him on yearbook, but I could see so much potential. And he ended up being one of my greatest yearbook staffers. And then his little brother came on and he was a yearbook staffer. And you'll find that a lot of times that happens, it's in the family. So there's also these little invite cards. And on the back it says, you've been identified as a strong candidate. We'd love to have you on our yearbook staff. Sometimes it's just writing these kids a little note and maybe handing them an application with the little note. And that says, we'd like to have you. Because intentional recruiting is how you're going to get the students that kind of vibe with you and understand your style and that you want on your staff. So if you're interested in any of these materials, let me know and I can get them ordered for you. And recruitment should be fun. Now, one thing I found that is I had a bunch of students apply, like one year I had 80 kids. Whew, that was exciting. But I had to end up really using that application to really narrow it down. And then I had to also video their interview because I knew I wouldn't remember them the next day. And that really helped me go back and watch them and really get their personalities. So if you have any questions about recruiting, applications, anything, just let me or Sarah know and we'll be glad to send them your way. So the final thing I want to talk about today is the final deadline. I think some people don't quite get that just because you meet your final deadline means you're going to get your book on time. That's not how printing works. We have deadlines set all along so that pages can be printed and folded and dried and stored in your specific place in the plan. And that's important. So if you have not met a deadline or you have not met your first deadline or your second deadline or something in between, go back to that signature thing I was talking about earlier, that's a way that you can maybe put a Band-Aid on some of those missed dates. So let's look at our home screen. I think it's really important. That home screen really gives a lot of information. This school is 23 days past due on their first deadline. And what's going to happen if I send you an email that says your book's 23 days late getting there? Well, this is the indicator. So yes, they might meet their final deadline, but that doesn't mean their book is going to be on their ship week. So guys, really look at this and really think about how can I maybe clean things up a little bit. And also, if you're one of those people who thinks you're just going to wait till the final deadline, that's going to be really sad. So don't do that to yourself. And let us help you. If we're asking you what we can do, we really mean what do you want us to do? Do you want us to play pictures? Do you want us to design pages? Do you want us to put in some specialties pages that you really don't have to do that much? Do we need to remove some pages that you really don't think you're going to have time to fill? We're here to help you make those decisions. It's a no judgment zone. No judgment zone. We have things that happen. We're all human. So let us help you help yourself. And so give us an email, give us a call, and we'll talk through what you think you need to do. And we hope you have a great week. There's just a lot going on. We're starting spring sports. So tryouts started today, which is the day I'm recording, which is the 15th. So by next week, when you're watching this, it's all going to be full throttle until that final deadline. So make sure that those spring sports pages are designed. You've got your interviews in, you've got your text written. You're not going to do a scoreboard. One thing you can do, just as a thought process, you can put the teams they're going to play in place of a scoreboard if you use a scoreboard, so that the kids, when they get their book on that team, can fill in the scores. That's kind of fun. But have a plan. Get it ready. We can't wait till the last minute on everything. All right. Y'all have a great week.
Did you guys see our weather report? You got to check it out. The link is somewhere right up here. Up here? Up there? I think it's up here. Anyways, you'll see it. Go check it out.